All right. Supreme Commander, if you would give us the log of the day, that'd be much appreciated.
Real
Shut
quick,
up.
has it been 2 months since the gateway, or
Y-
so
yes.
I've experienced 2 months since I came through the gateway.
No, you've jumped in the 2 month.
So it feels
Yeah.
like I've been here for minutes or hours.
Yeah.
I have a question too before he does the log. Is it kind of like with the change that all the memories of the new life flood in with the old and they mix, or
They'll
is it like
mix.
they take?
So as far as your characters are concerned, you'll have that um, alienation moment of what's going on and
That
not really understanding what's happening, and then the memories will slowly fade in.
that weird moment of deja vu.
But
Okay,
you're
like
still
we
your
saw
original
before
characters.
with.
You're just in an
Okay.
alternate reality now, and
Do I
you're
have a
coming to
goatee?
the
Can Beta grow no facial hair?
I wouldn't know why not.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, we've never seen it, but they never said you can't.
Of course, like most of the prominent betas as we've seen have been female, or that one male guy who went with Tin Man.
Yeah. But yes, Supreme Commander, if you would.
No, the other one that was trying to sell the wormhole. Remember the faulty wormhole in Star Trek Next Generation?
I know
And
he,
Deanna
yeah,
Troy
the
caught him.
negotiator.
Yeah. Yes, him. So, yeah. Him.
Commander Shran's personal log 53066. Or I guess at this point I should probably say Supreme Commander. I'm not sure what happened, but I seem to have ended up in an alternate reality or universe. I haven't figured it out yet. But the last thing I remember is the going through with the Vulcan. From what I've been able to gather about my surroundings, I'm now Supreme Commander of Endon's Landing. I seem to have committed a coup d'etat against the local government and installed myself, and am now fighting against a rebellion of non-Andorians. My first thought was just to get back to the gate to reset everything, but I've found out that the rebels control the gate, so there's no real way back for me at this point. Apparently, just before I got here, I invited Commander Ray, who is at this point commander of the Artemis, to come negotiate. And it seems I had the intention of using the station to destroy his ship to end his support of the rebellion. That's obviously not a winning strategy, but I doubt he's going to be open to negotiation either, because for all I know, he thinks I'm a dictator.
Aren't you, though?
End of log.
Yeah.
With a jolt that is both disorienting and somewhat stomach turning. Uh, Trent Tamara, you had this memory of being at the gate. You were struggling, and you felt yourself being lift. Both of you were kind of lifted off your feet, and then you felt yourself pulled into the gate. You now find yourselves kind of tumbled in the front end of the operations center of the outpost Andon. Shran is in a rich, bemedaled uniform. Tamira's uniform is a bit torn up. You have a slight burn mark on your face. In the back, it seems to be Lieutenant Jeeler Nix, who has beamed into place and seems to be rapidly tapping at the back console. In the room, there's no Starfleet officers. It's just Andorians with Ushans and plasma pistols at their hip, and they all stand as they see the two of you kind of almost seem to be flung from the view screen and collapse into the floor in a half grapple, because that was the last thing you two were doing. We're in combat timing now. Shran, you see all your men, all these people standing up. They're your men. Yeah, you took over and what? But you have an idea that you're definitely not where you were before, and these are your loyal men who don't seem to notice the guy back here. They look like they want to shoot Tamira.
I pull out my phaser pistol and point it towards Tamira, and if you want to get back, we're gonna have to work together.
Tamira goes to you because the men notice their commander is doing something. These look like Andorians from the station, but they all look battle worn. You can see scarring, burns. They're wearing not Andorian uniforms or Starfleet uniforms, but they all look like they're getting ready to pull their pistols. But they looked at Shran, who you see is in the uniform and regalia.
It seems I have no choice.
What
Jeez.
is the dude at the back doing?
He is. You can roll insight plus science or engineering. Difficulty 1.
I think, is this a time where I could use constantly watching?
Yes, I would say so.
Okay. What'd you say the difficulty was?
1.
So it goes down to 0, or it goes down to 1?
Goes down to 0.
You said insight, engineering, or science?
Yes. Gain 3 momentum. It seems Mr. Lieutenant Nix has the intention of messing with the environmental controls and pumping likely anistasine gas or something into the room.
Do I know his name?
In passing, yeah, he's from the Artemis crew.
Okay. After Tamira says what she says, then I turn to him, and if he wants to survive, to stop.
Oh, you yell at him that if he wants to survive, he has to stop?
Yes.
Give me presence plus command or presence plus security, difficulty of 3, because he's trying to stop you. He thinks he's going to die if he doesn't.
Would diffuse the tension work here, since I'm trying to convince him not to commit violence?
I'll give it to you, yeah. You're not saying I'm going to shoot you. You're saying, no, dude, you need to stop before this escalates.
I closed the book. What does that do again?
Gives you an extra d20.
Okay. I'll re-roll the 0. Okay.
How'd you reroll the 0?
Bold command.
Bold command requires you to spend threat to get that extra die.
Oh, it does. So I did not re-roll the 0.
When you shout over to him, you notice that your voice takes on a somewhat harsher tone than you intended, mainly because you're just exhausted. He seems to be working a little quicker. For 2 momentum, you could try again at a higher difficulty. Or try another strategy, because it looks like if you don't do something, he's going to flood this room with gas.
I want to, grab Tamira's uniform and throw her up, and at the same time say, you're going to have to stop.
Throw her up? I don't understand.
As in, I assumed that for some reason I had it in my mind that she was prone. That may have just been something that I was thinking.
Yeah, I imagine both of you fell into the room prone and then slowly crept to your feet as you noticed the scenario.
Okay, then never mind. I take that back. I just turn to Tamira and say, you're going to have to stop this.
Stop what?
If you can... The lieutenant at the back of the room, if you can't stop him, I'm going to have to shoot him, and I don't want to shoot him.
Tamira, you can roll Insight Science, difficulty 1, now that someone's pointed it out to you, what he's doing back there.
Computers for focus.
I'll give it to you.
Take a threat.
Sure. Gain 3 momentum. Yeah, you get what he's up to.
Is the momentum separate between us, or is it all group pool?
It's all pooled because you're both working toward a common end. Once you start posing each other, threat's going to come into it. But for now, you're on the same side. More or less.
Lieutenant, cease your activities.
We have to stop him. We can't. We can't let him. He's going to kill them. He's already killed the captain. And some of the Andorians are approaching him now and turning in his direction because they hear him shouting. And they saw all the attention directed back there. They start drawing their Ushans out.
Lieutenant, now is not the appropriate time.
Presence command, difficulty 1, you do outrank him. But he's not exactly keen to give up right now. He's this close to getting it. He just needs to press a few more buttons and he has it.
Spending a momentum. Yeah. We go. It's 2 momentum to cancel the complication.
The lieutenant looks back at you and notices that you're not speaking in code. You're not nodding at him in some way. You're literally telling him to stop, and he looks around, sees the well-armed, very angry-looking Andorians, and he steps away from the console.
We're all gonna die, man. We're gonna die.
Shran, you notice your men are starting to look like they're about to rush him.
Lieutenant, take him to the brig. I will be down to deal with him later. He may have knowledge that we need.
Nix kind of looks around, his hands up. The three guys step forward. They stop when you give the order, and yes, Supreme Commander.
Smear just nods to him.
And Nix is escorted out of the room.
Lieutenant, if I'm needed, I will be
Actually, he's still standing.
in the brig conducting interrogations of highly valuable Starfleet personnel. And then I'll take the plasma pistol and I point it towards Tamira and kind of motion to move.
She'll start walking.
The men look like they want to say something, but then they all seem to think better of it, and they get back to their posts.
Before we leave, I ask, where's the Artemis?
Crashed into the planet, sir, just like you planned. The tractor beam worked like a charm. We just saw the antimatter explosion about 30 seconds ago. The moment you just popped in.
Oh, so that... Okay, so I misunderstood. That log and stuff, that had already happened.
Oh, it can be confused. Like, there's going to be a moment in the log where he kind of started doing his normal log and just started talking about something he didn't understand. He's like, well, whatever, I'm just going to do my day. That's weird. But you remember the original log he wanted to put down. It's almost like he knew this was happening. Like, you were going to be here. Except that doesn't make sense. Ugh. But I assume you carry on off the bridge? Off the operations deck, I should say?
Yes.
Now at earshot, real conversation.
Just gotta set up the next scene. The next scene, as it were. Walking through the station, you can see that it's all armed. It's a very much a military outpost appearance. Lots of patrolling guards, Andorians at doors. There are some non-Andorians in the that are milling around, but they're escorted by armed guards. Andorians, when they see Shran pass by, they come to attention, and then fall back into guard position when he's done passing by them. A lot of dirty looks aimed at Tamira. Where do you go? Do you go to the brig?
Yes.
I'm seeing in Triple Altura. What are you doing?
So, the Shran and Tamira come into the same brig area, one of the brig areas on the station. There's guards on the inside, of course.
Oh, you guys are slow. Here, I'll prompt it. Guards, leave us. We want to speak private. I need to talk to the prisoner and interrogate her privately. She has important, vital information, but it's very classified. Go. No?
I'll walk over to console and take down the energy barrier.
Okay. And the field kind of pops out of existence.
If you wouldn't mind, Commander.
She steps forward into her cage. Is this everything you wished for, Commander?
Oops.
If I'm going to restore Andon's landing, I've done what needed to be done to do that, and I will continue doing what needs to be done to do that. And I'll close the field.
The field pops back into existence with a rather threatening crackle.
What is going to happen to the lieutenant?
If the answer to that question is important after the next 24 hours, then it really didn't matter anyways. There was no way to stop it.
She just quirks an eyebrow.
He may have a little bit of time if he's cooperative. But if he doesn't give me what I need in the next 24 hours, it's going to be bad for a lot of people.
Then let me impart on some Vulcan wisdom to you, Commander. Be wary of your surroundings. You live in dangerous waters. And she just sits down, faces the wall, and enters a meditative stance.
I will go back to the... I'll walk towards the wall, towards the comm panel, and press the button. Security Team Alpha, meet me in the transporter room with full gear.
Yes, sir.
And I'll leave.
Meanwhile, skip the step. Commander Ray, Dr. Lorba.
Yes.
You find yourself on the bridge of the Artemis. The front view screen is completely shattered, and you can see the icy and you feel cold air blowing by you, and you're both kind of roused awake because you're both lying on the floor, surrounded by various deceased crewmen of the Artemis, still at their posts.
Not again. Not again.
Idon?
Lenadris. Are you real?
Feels like it. Probably in vain. Computer, respond. Are any of the consoles even on?
You look around, they're all dark. Just black, glassy screens. Most of them shattered. Some of them look like there's EPS explosions.
Can I tell
Like
how
structural,
long? Can I tell how long the Artemis has been on the surface?
Give me insight plus security or science difficulty 2.
Cultural studies not going to help here.
Not really, no.
Nope. All right, I'm rolling this blind.
You'd say 15, 30 minutes at the most. Likely less than that.
So the deck is still warm, but quickly cooling off.
Yeah.
Am I hurt? Is Lorba hurt?
You both seem sore, like you both were flung from wherever it was you were standing and collapsed and smashed into the ground. But none of the structural bits that fell away from the deck or any of the panels exploded around you. So you don't seem to be hurt beyond some bruising and soreness.
What's the last thing I remember?
You pulled into dock. You went up to the station operations area. No one was paying attention to you. Something about your ship not getting in. But then you remember coming in, and then you were caught by a tractor beam. Something about emergency beaming. You have memories that are clashing with each other that don't. It's almost like one. It's like they both happened at the same time.
None of this makes any sense.
No, it doesn't. We have to get further into the ship. If we stay out here, I gesture to the view screen, we're gonna freeze. I get up and I try accessing the emergency manual release on the bulkhead door.
Fitness plus engineering, difficulty 1.
I'm gonna jinx myself.
You gain a momentum as you wrench the thing open, and it hits that sweet spot where it gives, and you're able to pull it the rest of the way open.
Come on. You have
All
to
right,
get out.
where are we headed?
Based on the view outside, I can tell, like where the elevation of the saucer is relative to the ground. Is the saucer like carrying up? Are we nosedive in?
Your nosedive in.
Okay. We're probably gonna get supplies from an armory and go out and airlock on deck like 5 or 6, depending what's going on out there.
All right, lead the way. Is there like a emergency med kit or something I can grab real quick, or it's like even a survival?
Probably a med kit on the bridge.
You scrounge around for a bit and find one underneath one of the consoles where, unfortunately, this person seems to be draped over it as they got fused into the panel.
You okay?
Well, as well as can be expected. Let's get going. Maybe someone else might have made it. We can
I'm
hope.
kind of wondering why we made it and these people did not. Would it even be prudent to take their comm badges?
Do we really have time for that? I mean, how much time do we have left before more of the cold air seeps in? I mean, there's got to be breaches. There's got to be tons of breaches everywhere. If we get somewhere warmer, we're going to die in a few hours. I don't think we have the time to wait.
Point. Besides, I kind of have the feeling that
You both suffer 1 stress from the cold.
I kind of have a feeling that this is not what's supposed to be.
If this is even real.
Well, that cold's real. Let's get going.
All right. And we head out.
I want to make my way down to the nearest armory, get ourselves some weapons and survival gear.
A moment. I forgot to change something. So you're looking for what again? Sorry.
Basically just embarkment and gear, and we want cold weather gear, weapons, tricorders, communicators.
You're able to get up to your service gear fairly easily because Type 2 phasers, a med kit is the sort of thing that is dotted around the ship, and you're able to get rather quickly. And you've been drilled on how to find it in a hurry. If you want something more than that, you can get cold weather outfit. I'm not going to charge you for that because you'll die the minute you step out of the ship without it. Well, not the minute, but you'll die fairly quickly.
Yep.
However, if you want anything more than a Type 2, say a Type 3, that'll cost you an opportunity and an escalation.
I'll get a type 3.
Okay. So 1 momentum gone, I gain a threat. If you want to Lorba to have one as well, I don't get another threat, but you do have to spend another momentum.
Lorba, do you want one?
Sure, why not? I'm a pretty decent shot.
What's the challenge dice on type 3?
It's 4, I want to say off the top of my head. Gonna double check that though.
For type 3, it's 4. And
4?
that Did you reduce the escalation cost or
Type 3 for
the
what?
opportunity?
Opportunity
Type
cost
3
for
is 2.
2. No, I think it's
Should be
2
4.
escalation and 1.
I don't think there's anything that's 2 escalation.
There are some. That's why it limits you from getting it as personal gear.
But you only pay the escalation cost once.
Yeah.
But I thought the opportunity is what was 2 and the escalation was what was 1.
I'll double check. I might be wrong on that.
Oh,
That
no,
was 1 and 1 for
it's
some reason.
yeah, no, it is 1. Opportunity cost is 1. Escalation is
1
2.
and 2.
So
okay, so I get 2 escalation.
No, you only get the 2 threat for the escalation, and then it's
Right.
2 momentum for both of them to have type 3 phasers.
Right.
I have a feeling we are going to need them.
Oh, it is. You're right. Yeah. Okay.
I feel like a JRPG now. Anyway, anything else you try to scrounge from the ship?
Does the cold weather gear have the shiny jacket and pants from that DS9 episode?
Of course it does.
Perfect.
So that does cost 4 escalation to have that. No.
No. I want to check the tricorder, or Eric can get a read of how far we are from shelter.
0 meters. You're in shelter.
So does that say standard gear, Game of Thrones, cold weather gear, Game of Thrones?
I was thinking that too. It's GOT, darn you.
Okay.
But yes, I assume you're looking for the next nearest shelter.
The next nearest shelter besides the ship.
I'm gonna have to say that will be a reason plus. Reason plus security or medicine. Difficulty of. Let's just say 2, actually.
We could teamwork that if you want. That's actually a pretty good roll for me.
I was gonna say, hey, you want to take lead on this, and I'll support you.
Sure. I don't think I have any relevant focuses. I'm just gonna go for it. I'm gonna need your help. Well, crap.
From your scans, it doesn't seem they have a good idea where there are some shelters, but none of them that would be very stable because of the impact of the ship. The surrounding geology has been compromised, so caverns and various other places are very unstable according to your readings. You could theoretically, at the cost of a momentum, bring along a prefab shelter you can carry with you. It's just bulky. It's a large thing. You have to split between the two of you.
I'm kind of thinking we either want a prefab shelter if the geology is unstable, but
Yeah,
I
I'm
also
with you
want
there.
some sort of extended communication device. What's the normal range of a communicator without the assistance of a starship in orbit, like ground to ground?
Thousands of kilometers if they're tuned into each other on the same subspace frequency.
Yeah, because remember when Odo and Quark had to climb up the mountain with the thing? They only went up the mountain because there was an issue, storm or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, so I
You
should be
could,
able
and
to.
without a starship, you could hail someone up in orbit. Any further than that, you need something to extend the signal because the signal strength in the combat just isn't strong enough. Because the assumption is you're going to be near a starship or craft that can extend your range.
And I think that's why they climbed up the mountain. Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully, still in orbit or we're close. Would there be a horizon issue with the comm badge if we're more than 20 kilometers away from the city?
The subspace signal could theoretically cut through the Earth to the planet to a certain degree. So the horizon, it can cut through some of the horizon, as it were, but not like if you're on the opposite end of the planet or a significant distance. It eventually the rock just becomes too much interference. But if it's just a little bit, if the colony is just a little bit below the horizon, it can get away with it, assuming there's nothing in the surface that's particularly subspace scattering.
Okay.
But the deeper into the planet you go, the more inevitable it's going to happen because you're going to be cutting through like magma and stuff, and that just messes with stuff because it's another energy source.
Magma.
So as long as we're not cutting through a magma field to get to subspace, we should be fine.
Should be.
Hopefully we're within a couple hundred kilometers of the city. Have we found any other signs of life? Any other signs of survivors? Or is it just wrecked bodies everywhere?
How about the pair of you give me fitness plus medicine difficulty 2 as you see as you actually poke around and see what happens to people who are in a crashed starship.
Would field medicine help me here as a focus?
I'll give it to you. Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like this would be a good time for a focus in physics. Or really just inertia
Wow.
and momentum.
Don't know if I was helping with that or if I was doing it by myself.
You're each doing your own roll.
All right.
And if it's bad enough, you might want to look up the states of matter, because some of them may have been transitioned to.
You gain. Dang it!
Yeah, that was pretty funny. That's
that imagery.
mhm.
They went so fast, one of them sublimed.
Is that like a mixed drink? Is that
So yes.
It's in Charlie Go over there.
Sublime
over there,
is
and up
when-
there.
Sublime is when something's so, I think it's so hot that you go from a gas to a solid without going into a liquid state.
Yeah, sublimation. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Instant
okay,
vaporization.
yeah. Forgot about that.
Also has to do with pressure and stuff, but yeah.
Ray, you are now suffering from a trauma. Thankfully, it's only difficulty 1 to get it treated later. But yeah, Lorba looks around. When Dr. Lorba looks around, thankfully your field medicine kind of helps you out. It doesn't help you a ton, but you're able to kind of, yeah, that guy's dead. He's dead. You don't really think about it too much. Just he's dead. Jim keeps, as it were, keeps coming up, and there's a sort of you end up having that professional detachment that occurs after a while of like, yeah, and you do some mental math and think about it. It's like this looks like a ship went down with the inertial dampers off, and miraculously, you and Ray aren't horribly maimed and dead. Unfortunately, Ray
bug
does
splats,
not.
but from the inside.
Unfortunately, Ray is not so lucky as he kind of, as you suddenly remember the memory of the ship being caught by the station's tractor beam. You were there to do a peace treaty to end the rebellion, and this was going to be it. No one was going to die. No one on your ship was going to die anymore. No, the Federation wouldn't have to go to war. And then the ship got flung like a dart into the planet, and you were screaming. And after a while, you started screaming orders, and then you just kind of froze. And that's when Dr. Lorba had to step in and kind of to keep giving orders, like dumping the core before you smacked into the planet. Someone beamed over to the station, and you have this deep sense of the fact that you feel like this is your fault, that they're all dead because of you. Everyone on the ship.
And of course, and of course, feeling all the empathy of, hey, there's like 500 people who are dying right now.
Yeah, which thankfully, oddly, because you're in a weird way, you kind of through that empathy. That's why the difficulty isn't so bad. Is that it's they didn't blame you.
It's not your
You
fault.
blame yourself, but your crew didn't, and they didn't. Not the most comforting thought in the world, but it's better than nothing. So yeah, Lorba, you can see Ray kind of giving that 1,000-yard stare for a little bit.
Hey, Lenadris.
Huh?
I don't think this is real. I think I don't know if it's the prophets giving us a vision or space-time anomaly, but it doesn't make sense. If the damage were this bad, we'd at least have broken bones. We'd at least have a hematoma. We'd at least we none of us should be able to walk if the crash was this bad. I don't think any of this is actually happened.
It feels real.
I know it feels real.
No,
Me. I know things like this feel real, but I don't think this is real. We just have to keep going until we find whatever it is the prophet sent us to find.
It feels real, and I point to my temple.
Okay, well, I can't know how real that feels because.
And you can actually see when he points to his head, you can see there's intense bruising all along his face, like his face smashed into something. You actually see he's kind of bleeding from his scalp.
Okay, do I simultaneously remember that not being there a second ago and remember that being there a second ago?
It's like it manifested right in front of you. Like that wasn't there. You've been scrounging around the ship for a while now, and he looked as fine as a daisy as you were, and now he looks like he's hurt.
Okay.
You see his uniform starting to look like it's torn in places, like he got thrown and flung somewhere.
Okay, you weren't bleeding a second ago. Now you are. Your belief that this is real must be manifesting or something. Just trust your senses. Your 5 senses, not your extra one.
And stop believing.
And we have to keep going until we find whatever it is we're meant to find, okay?
Okay. Let's get down onto Deck 5 and hit an airlock on the upper saucer.
Sounds good. I'll watch your 6.
Did you guys get like cold weather gear?
Yes.
The shiny jacket and pants from DS9 and everything.
Let's also spend that. Did we spend that momentum to get the shelter?
You did not.
Yeah, we gotta spend that.
Let's do that.
Give me that.
All right, but now anytime you request momentum from me, I demand a rendition of "Let It Go."
Wait, I got that.
Well, the cold is bothering me anyway, so I can't do that.
I don't want to be muted. Don't play it. Just put it in the Discord.
Right.
But yes, you guys are able to gather up the rather bulky prefab units for an emergency shelter. Thankfully, the ship was stocked full of these things. Like they thought you would be around Andon's Landing a lot.
And I'm assuming there's no signs that any power is on the ship whatsoever, so I can't set up an emergency distress beacon from the ship.
You can do Insight, Command, or Engineering difficulty 2. There's a thing you're supposed to do in this scenario. It's not occurring to you right away. Normally it'd be difficulty 1, but you seem to be troubled by all the deaths around you.
So is my complication range up too, or?
Nope, just difficulty.
Okay.
Am I able to assist here?
You can, yeah.
Focus in interstellar law?
Technically, yes. Sure.
Stretch, but...
Clicked the wrong button, sorry. But I got a simplification anyway. Whoops.
Thank you. So you get 1 momentum. Get rid of that. Ow. Give me a moment. Ow.
That sounds like a cat who isn't happy.
Ow. Nope, just my eyes trying to kill me. Ow.
Ooh, that's even worse.
So, I'm just gonna take 2 threat off of that. Um, one of 2 things happens in a scenario like this. You do know that under in Federation law, if nothing else, um, that when a starship is without life and is derelict like it is, the ship is to be set to be scuttled so it doesn't get captured by a hostile or pre-war forces. It is on Federation world, so whether you have to do that or not, technically by regulation you're supposed to.
Its ship also does it automatically, I thought too.
Yep, the ship. If it detects no one aboard, it would do it on its own. But since the ship seems to be off, like the computer isn't working for whatever reason, you have if you're gonna abandon the ship, you have to make some arrangements for the ship to scuttle itself if you can. You do know there's a backup reactor for auxiliary power somewhere on the ship. It's not as good as a full-on secondary reactor. It's just they back up just enough power to turn on like a console or 2, or just enough to get the maneuver thrusters going, or enough energy to scuttle the ship. Or, as you're thinking, you could theoretically get it to power the communication system, assuming the subspace transmitter isn't broken. But scuttling is pretty easily. Just overload everything and everything just breaks because it gets caught in plasma fire.
Now, the next question is, do we actually want to scuttle the ship? This is a Federation world. It's not necessary.
That's the commanding officer's discretion.
If I might
If
make
they're-
an informal suggestion, if they shut us down, I don't think we should consider this a friendly world.
I agree. Let's go to the backup generator. Let's see what power we have, what systems we have available, and work from there. If we are leaving the ship, we'll scuttle it.
Yes, sir.
And we move to a new scene. As Commander Tran has gotten, where do you go? Did you go straight to the transporter room after summoning the men?
I'm going to grab my rifle and then go.
And I charged you 2 for that normally.
Yes. I'm in the process of getting the momentum.
So you have your rifle. Um, so you get your rifle. You have your security men there who all have rifles of their own. All right, sir. What do you want us to do? Where are we going?
We need to accomplish one more thing before we can put it in to the threat that the Federation presents to us. We need to capture or recover the body of their commanding officer. That's going to be the key to getting to the gate.
All right, sir. You want us to try to beam to the explosion site?
First, let's see if we can scan and find his remains.
One of them walks, taps his communicator and calls up to the operations deck to scan for the commander's life signs.
Well, life signs and like any sign of comm badges that we may have found frequencies to or something, because I'm not sure he's alive. Like, I'm not sure if anyone survived that. So, kind of scan for both.
All right. Oh, that momentum's gone, by the way, because we switched scenes. That's why I was trying to steal it.
Oh, no, yeah, I already spent that on the gun. It
Oh.
had just, I had to get it from Lorba. What was the difficulty?
It's reported back to you that the warp core breach on the planet has scattered a lot of the readings. They do see where the ship crashed, but they're not seeing a whole from the explosion site. They're not seeing any life signs or comm badges. But the person at the station does inform you that it's possible that the explosion, the result of the explosion, is might be scattering some of their scans. So they're not quite sure. But as far as they can tell, there's no one alive down there. There's just a crater where the crash site is. But even your men are enough of spacefarers to know that escape pods might have been a thing. Shuttles before it blew up could have been a thing. They just can't see where they went yet.
We'll have to see if he survived once we get down there. If not, we're going to go for the computer core and see if we can get his credentials. We need any advantage that we can get to convince the rebels that he is attempting to communicate with them.
Oh, Shran, you make this so easy.
All right, sir. Do you want us to take one of these ships down to the surface and inspect the site personally, or we could also have the station keep a wide scan across the subspace frequencies and see if he communicates across them?
No, this is... I've selected you because this is vital to our future. So we're going to go down together. We will be beaming down, though. Yeah.
You're on a pad, so that's fine. You're not beaming to a pad. There's interference. Difficulty for your person to beam you down is difficulty 4 currently.
Okay. I'm going to. Can I direct?
You certainly can.
Then I will direct with Medal of the Liberator. I know I gave someone a decent engineering score. Give me a second.
Sure. Oh, you filled out all the sheets.
Oh no, I only filled out one of them. I generated names for all of them. I did not fill out all the sheets.
Yeah, they'll have ones in all their disciplines. These guys are bad at their job. How are they working here? No, but no, I have a person I can roll.
Okay. I'll probably just, for the rest of the mission, I'll probably just treat all 5 of them as copies of the first one, because I probably won't have time to generate all that many stats. But yes, could you roll to beam? And that's with the direct. Oh, so I don't need to roll.
Do you want them to spend any threat for extra dice?
Yes. Let's make it 1 dice.
Sure. And they'll have a specialty in this.
That's what we needed.
Plus your assist roll.
Assist is counted as an automatic 1.
Oh, that's right. So you get 2, 3, 4 out of the 4 you need. Yep, on the dot. Meanwhile, Tamira.
Yes.
You're in the brig. Cutting to the next person. No. But no, as you meditate, you do get this sense of things out of sync, that you're in some sort of alternate reality. You can almost sense your original reality, but there's memories of a resistance, of a battle with Shran and his men. But you are able to focus on what you want to concentrate on. You get the feeling with enough focus, you could probably get answers to questions you are seeking to get answered. He said in the most roundabout way possible, but
So you kind of took the idea I had in a way. So I was thinking of trying to almost commune with the anomaly, considering I know it can affect things at range based on Lorba's experience.
what are you focusing on?
The anomaly, and then the how to get to essentially back to the other reality.
One moment. I'll be right back. Gotta check something.
So, Sharan, how are you liking your universe?
Disconnected. Oh.
Is there? Or are we missing out on a conference?
I think we're
Yes, I
missing out
think
on a
they were,
conference.
yeah, pulled into a call.
Quick, now it's time to plot our insurrection.
Well, I was thinking of pulling a search for Spock and set a distress signal on the ship. Hey, there's survivors here! Come help us! And then set the ship to self-destruct when Andorian life forms are seen aboard,
Brutal.
or
I
when
like
Shran
it.
beams.
It's brutal. You should do it.
If I have enough time, if he's beaming down now, I'm not sure if I'm gonna have enough time to set that up.
Yeah. Based on Lorba's history, he's still in the "this is a vision from the prophets" mode. There's something here we're meant to see, and yeah, that's
They're
entirely based
back.
on his background, though.
Yeah.
So, puppies and kittens.
Kittens.
Plus, insight or reason plus. I'm trying to think.
It insight reason or insight science.
Well, it's either insight or reason. I'm trying to think of the discipline. I will say science or command.
It would be reason science then.
Okay.
Difficulty 2, difficulty 3, complication range 2.
Yep.
Temple mechanics, survival, quantum mechanics.
Quantum mechanics.
No momentum.
You can thank your fellow officers for that.
Take 3 threat.
Sure.
'Cause-
I needed that back anyway.
That's what, 4 momentum?
Yeah. 4 momentum gained.
Oh, I'm gonna need that in a minute.
As you concentrate, a lot of possibilities flow by you, and the complication came. The increased complication was sometimes you were trying to keep yourself from being distracted from off the path you were trying to get answers to, because you kind of get, you don't just get an answer, you get like a million answers, but you're trying to focus on an answer that's actually reasonable and attainable without too much sacrifice. Like, yeah, you could totally do this. It's like, no, not that either. And trying to narrow down on what you're concentrating on.
Totally a Doctor Strange moment right here.
And you see 3 paths ahead of you. One of them, you can see what appears to be the broken and phaser burned form of Shran. Another is you and him hand in hand walking through the gate. And another is you walking in alone.
Okay. Just going to stand up.
Everything seems to be in double, and you're kind of, you're not, it's not so bad that you're have increased complication, but everything is kind of out of sync, just enough to be annoying.
She wills that the guards are get called away.
Insight plus command. Difficulty, you're not entirely sure, but higher seems better.
Complication range.
Most likely opposed by their own mental fitness, actually, would be the way it would go down.
Complication range.
Since you asked, looks like 2. Do you think it should be more complicated?
No.
You sure? I mean, I can.
Quantum survival for a focus.
Yeah.
Spending 3 momentum and giving you 3 threat.
I'm going to spend 1 of that threat. I'm going to keep the other 2.
Oh god. Okay. I'm gonna spend my determination for a reroll.
Seriously.
Logic is the beginning of wisdom, not the end. Like, it is most logical for me to get out of this situation to fix the timeline.
Yeah, but they may not agree with you.
Yes? No?
I'll take emotion in a crisis only makes things worse. You need to stay calm while you're doing this.
Okay.
Losing focus makes this harder.
Oh my god. Well, it's 1 complication.
It's only slightly not as bad.
Right.
You can roll again if you're willing to suffer 3 stress.
Sure.
No, sorry, 3 stress die. 3 challenge dice worth of stress. I should clarify. Sorry.
Sure. For stress. Oh, you rolled it? Okay, never mind.
You beat me to it.
Ooh,
3 to 4.
that's cold.
It is cold.
It's most logical.
It is most logical. Yeah, so that's 4 with the complication.
As those 2 seem perturbed and they look angry, like they seem to have clued in that you might be doing something because you're kind of staring at them and they're getting headaches. You notice one of them's bleeding a little bit blue from his nose, and they start getting ready to level their rifles at you. You concentrate harder, and oh wow, you have a migraine, and ow, your right arm hurts like you fell from a height, and then they both fall over, and then they both just kind of walk out of the room once the pain subsides.
You're having a heart attack.
It's almost like this reality wasn't letting you change it, that other wills were trying to will you not to change things. And you could force the issue, but you get the feeling that there's always going to be a price if you do that.
The second part of this is I'm going to call on Helix. I'm going to will Helix to come here to the brig.
Oh shit. Okay, I'm at the computer.
As part of a certain complication, Helix is being escorted in by 2 Andorian guards. As apparently Helix was somewhere he wasn't supposed to be, and Helix probably didn't have a whole lot to say to 2 armed Andorians, especially when everyone else in his staff turned into armed Andorians for some reason.
I'm quartermaster. I'm supposed to know where inventory is. My bad.
Yeah.
Cargo Bay 2, thought it had some good Andorian wine. They wouldn't go check.
They bring down the force fields. One of them aiming a rifle at you, Tamira, and another pointing at Helix to go in.
Oh, I'm definitely focusing that they think there's an emergency on deck 27 on the station. that they've been called
It's
away.
gonna be another opposed roll.
Okay.
Don't explode.
Right. Could I wager that I could maybe be more instead of command, like science, as in she's definitely thought of this procedure as very methodical.
Like, here's exactly how the emergency
Yeah.
would have gone down.
Yeah.
That increased complication, sure.
All right. So complication range is 2. Definitely giving you 3 threat. I'm rolling 4 dice.
I'm only taking 2. I'm gonna spend 1 of it.
Rerolling 1 of the zeros. Oh my god. Well, that's 3.
Helix, you get the feeling that
Mhm.
you can help somehow in not being jailed with Tamira. You just have to concentrate on it, though. But do you?
Yes, something regarding insider presence.
I'll
Maybe
give
with
you
security
presence plus
presence command.
presence engineering.
Oh, yes. Yeah. I can. And this is an assist right now, right? So just
Yes.
one. Okay. And okay, so since this is willing to be some type of emergency, let me see. Can I will it that there's some problem with structural engineering so that can be my focus?
Sure.
Yeah, excellent. So yeah, I'm willing that there's a structural problem down on that same, and it needs everybody's attention. See?
The tie.
And do I get a nosebleed?
If you're willing to take, if one of you is willing to take, either one of you can take 2 challenge dice worth of damage, or you can each take 1 challenge die each of damage. You can make sure that this works.
Tamira, how much have you already taken?
4.
4.
I'm fine.
I know, but Helix will do both.
Oh.
This is important. Yeah, 3.
3 stress, and oh wow, oh, everything hurts, and they rush out of the room as there's alarms going off. There's something wrong. You actually hear a structural integrity alert.
And just in case the shield doesn't close, I grab Tamira's hand and pull her to the other side, to this side of the cell, so if the emergency shield force field goes back up, she's not on the wrong side.
You do so just in the nick of time as it pops up under automation.
Yeah. Okay. See, Star Trek Discovery. And
You're both
Helix.
aware
Tamira.
that you both willed that to happen. Although Helix may have a more fuzzy idea of how that happened. That worked for some reason.
Real.
We need to get to the planet's surface, Mr. Helix.
Yeah, where
require your
are we?
assistance. We are in the brig on the station.
Well,
I suggest we leave immediately.
Incisive scrutiny. I look her in the face and be like, duh.
God damn it.
Right. And I'm like, okay, part of me says Helix is like some just worker, like helping with supplies and stuff. And the other Helix says, I control all this shit. But the other one seems to be taking precedence. Can you and this is why we're walking. So we're headed out towards the replicators to the transporter bays. But I'm like, what?
It has
Yeah,
to.
because now this is on the idea that remember the whole thing was confidential. Helix has no clue or has never known, you know what I mean, of the gate. So he's just like, so that's how he's asking, like, do you know what's going on?
It has to do with the anomaly on the surface of the planet.
Anomaly?
Yes,
I
the reason
don't
for the
think I'm
quarantine,
cleared.
the class 4 quarantine that was in effect.
Oh, I understand. Yeah, I never had clearance, so I wasn't sure what was going on. I just understood that we were to fix the elevator again, but we weren't allowed to go down. And then and at that moment, I think Helix will be like, probably I shouldn't ask any more questions then. And I just say, I will follow you, Commander.
Are you able to rig the transporter for a automatic beam down?
My thoughts are fuzzy in the sense of the quartermaster Helix says absolutely. The other Helix didn't have engineering, but I think I imagine. I mean, if we could stay focused and if I could block the dual feeling out.
When you approach the transporter room, you notice that an emergency bulkhead is closed over the door. It's been sealed.
Oh, let me hack that. Okay, not hack, but
Check to see if
or you got hacked.
environmental systems are working in the transporter room, or even if the transporter is currently online.
Absolutely. So I will run diagnostics. Okay, reason engineering difficult. Okay, so I've asked that, so I do have because you didn't say no, and inside scrutiny, permission. You have to. Okay, you know, main specialist. Okay, neural interfaces. Let me make sure it is allowed. Interface with computers. Okay, yes. Yeah, so neural interface talent is in place. So I'll be able to re-roll a die. And so one momentum for the third die. Yeah, because I want to save my determination for when I possibly need to either open this door or beam us down. So yeah, I don't want to use it yet. Oh, just barely made it, but okay. Oh, I can re-roll one. That's the neural interface part. So I'm re-rolling that.
Okay.
Oh well, okay. At least it didn't go back.
And you suffer 3 stress. Something on the station ruptures, and you get a surge come up the line of your neural connection.
That's 6 of my 11. Damn it. Can I hypo spray it up and get rid of 4 or 5? Oh, it doesn't.
It'll go away at scene change.
Oh, you only suffer 2 stress from the roll.
Oh, my mic. Dude, okay. And so the diagnostic tells me.
It tells you that, yeah, there's atmosphere over there. Lockdown for security reasons. Like, because they evacuated people out of there, they locked the room to make sure the rebels didn't get in there.
Are you able
But
to
the transporter room works. There's atmosphere in there. They just.
Are you able to bypass the security?
I don't have any focuses in it, but I definitely can try. Looking at. Oh shit.
Can I assist with that?
You certainly can. And this is under the assumption that Helix managed to grab a kit along the way. I'm hand waving that because you, as a quartermaster, is like, yeah, I can find a kit. That's not the issue. There's one here. Yoink.
I'm rolling a 12, so
Yeah, me 9, 10, 11, 12, same 12.
Yeah,
so
so
either
does-
one of us. I don't have any focuses unless.
computers for a focus.
I'll give it to you. Yeah.
Do you have computers for a focus?
I do not, but I do have still my neural interface, so I can re-roll my assist if I.
Well,
Something
you
happens.
take the main roll, so you can use that for the reroll. Usually, when you assist, you can't reroll.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's true. So both momentum and 1 threat for the 4th die. Okay, yeah. Oh. Can I re-roll hers with that inside
No.
with the scrutiny?
But you can spend 2 of the momentum to get rid
Yeah.
of it.
Well,
So-
of course, but I just wanted to. I was hoping that since I get to roll a d20, but it
It only
from
affects
using
you.
a ship systems. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was trying.
Good. Yeah,
Alright,
it was.
so
It was
yeah.
a good try.
Right?
3,
2,
so you
3,
gain.
4, 5. So
Why
2.
couldn't I roll this yesterday?
So yeah, the 2 I gain I spend on that complication. So we just stay at 2 where we're at.
Yep. And the door
Correct.
opens when you override it. As there, you need to do a diagnostic on the internal, so you need the door open, and so it opens.
Right? And tell it that I will need to do a diagnostic for at least a few minutes so it doesn't like
Close
strand
behind
us
you.
in here if I can't. Right? If I can't get the replicators to work, then we need to be able to get out. So yeah. So last but not least, the transporters. I do have my focus there. That is so control engineering is way better. I have a 14. And I definitely want us off this ship. So determination spend on I would never ask anyone to do anything I wouldn't do myself.
That discipline.
Value?
Yeah, that value will work.
Okay.
Now you're beaming to the surface. Where on the surface? That's a big planet. A lot of it's freezing cold and deadly.
Place where we're not gonna
To
get shot.
the elevator.
Yeah.
Well, that and then can we get towards the elevator that takes us down?
You
To
could
the-
theoretically
to the
beam into it.
anomaly?
I would prefer to be where the anomaly's at, but
Yeah. What's the difficulty to go there? Because Tamira has the location, so she would just have to put in the coordinates since I wouldn't know them technically. But once I have the coordinates in the system, what does that look like for me in the sense of difficulty? Holy shit.
you got this. There's an assist
And
from
the
the
station would not be assisting.
Oh,
It's almost like large parts of the computer system are damaged due to a rather severe structural integrity breach.
Okay. Question. Can
Mhm.
we, before we make that roll, do system maintenance? Because I do have that to try to bring that difficulty down.
One moment.
Absolutely. Because I have emergency repairs as well as system maintenance.
You could fix it, but it would take time to fix the relevant systems. You'd have to leave the room and go to the relevant parts of the ship station that are making it harder on you.
Okay, so we just got to do this. Okay, well, I need to buy all the way to my 4th die, so I'll spend the 2 momentum and 3
We don't
threat,
have that
because that's 5.
momentum. We're actually at 0
Why?
because we never. Because you spent it on
we
the
gained
other
2.
roll. No, we gained 2, but we used
no,
it.
there was already 2 there.
Right, we spent the 2. It just never got cleared. and then we gain 2.
Hold
We
on,
had
hold
to
on.
spend the 2 to clear the complication that I rolled.
So the 2 that was there before I even rolled was already spent?
Yeah, because his that controlled security roll that he got him to momentum. The difference was only 3.
Right.
So he spent the extra he gained to get rid of the complication you got.
Yeah, not the
As
2
far
that
as
was
I
already
recall,
there.
the 2 that Winchester has there is the 2 that was there before.
Yeah.
Because I got threat to get up to that number.
So this 2 is still on the board. It can be
Yeah.
used.
Yes.
Oh,
So that 2 plus 4 threat gives me the 5 I need to get to 4 dice since I'm using determination. And then yeah, we're maxed out with everything, and here we go. Oh well, shit. All right.
3 momentum.
So that's 3 momentum gained, and we teleport exactly where we want. And now I get to see the anomaly for the first time, and I'm like, oh, okay. But now this is the part where Jamie knows that Helix is going to start losing his mind, just like everybody else around that you know, Tamara. So you could have fun with that.
I would. I was debating not to say that you should beam down or not.
Well, how about just a distance, like right, not next to it, like maybe at the
At the foot of the
at the bottom of the elevator, yeah. And then you just tell me to stay there because of quarantine and not enough clearance, and I'm just like, okay.
Can we spend 2 momentum to create the advantage that the logs were scrambled in terms for the transport?
Sure.
Ooh.
So
Yeah.
they don't know we beamed
That's
down.
awesome. Oh, and in fact, see, and that's that moment when I should have the bulkhead just shut now, just so that nobody can get in there easily. But too late. Okay.
Well, it should do it automatically after the diagnostic cleared.
It's true. Yeah, that's true.
New scene. As we cut over to the Artemis.
Get rid of all that stress. It's gone. Thank you.
Oops. Shoot. Go back there. There we
go. Oop, and I also spent my determination, so that's got to go too. Okay, good. Everything.
Tick. Ray and Lorba.
Well, I know the pamphlets is toted about all the cool places you would see in Starfleet, but this is ridiculous.
Calm down.
I got someone with that.
It was pretty good. I'm not gonna lie.
So you're in the room where the secondary reactor is. All the panels seem to be out. The only reason you're able to move around is by the light of the some handheld beacons you're walking around with.
Oof. This could be better.
Yeah.
There's wiring hanging out, panels have fallen off, and the reactor itself seems dim, as if it's off.
Put a sunroof if there, maybe paint the wall all green. You put a little breakfast nook in the corner.
Well, as long as your sense of humor is the only thing intact in this room, we should probably see if we can rig this thing up to.
Yeah, let's get on that.
I'll be honest, I was asleep through most of my engineering elective, so you're gonna help me out here.
I was gonna say I just took the basic courses and pretty much slammed command class all through.
I'm sorry. The section on arming a bomb as the ship, we weren't there for.
Well, let's put our heads together and see what we can get.
I'll follow your lead.
Lorber's like, I'm not starting that. I'll help, but I'm
Oh,
not starting
goodness.
So that's the kind of extended task you're looking at. And don't worry, there's no time limit, but time will pass each time you do a roll. Put it that way.
And there is a time limit because I kind of want to get this done before or we start having friends come investigate this crash site.
Okay, well, out of character, I'm rolling against an 11 there, so you're probably gonna have a better chance than me.
I have a 12.
Okay, a markedly better chance than me. We have no momentum, so you know.
Oh.
It's gonna be hilarious. And I have absolutely no focus for this, so
Yeah, now is the time to probably spend determination if you have. Just build up some momentum so we can get through the rest of this shit.
unfortunately I think the only way I can do this is earn a value. Unless I could apply never bargain with people's lives.
I don't
That
think there's
seems like
anyone's lives you're bargaining with right now, so you got to think of something
well, our
different
lives.
than. Okay, well, I can burn my value. I will survive to at least do the initial roll if you want me to take the lead in the first one. I just can't I mean, that'll at least get us 2 successes to get us going. Would you rather do that?
Yeah, and then I can.
Okay, so I'll take the lead in the first roll.
What value was it again?
I will survive.
Yeah.
Is that if I have another one if you think that's not good.
What's the other one?
Trust the prophets, but double check your tricorder because I truly believe at this point this is a vision from the prophet.
I'll give it to you. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna go ahead and spend that determination then. Okay, well, that's 4.
Is Ray assisting?
Yep, with what little I have.
Three, four, five. So you gain 3 momentum off that. And here's the fun part, Lorba. Give me 3 challenge dice to see how much work you did.
Ooh, challenge. Extended tasks are difficult when you have a 1. Oh, that's the resistance.
Can we spend one of those momentum to give it piercing? Is that a thing?
Yeah.
You can, yeah.
Okay, so we'll spend one of those momentum.
So that's currently 2 work of 10. No breakthrough as you very slowly you make some progress, and wow, getting a reactor to turn back on is really difficult when it's all the way off and the computer isn't helping you and you don't have any staff to assist you. Aside from a guy who barely passed the engineering course to get out of the academy.
Please, first officer, confirm self-destruct. Kirk, Alpha, 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 1 Alpha.
Yeah, we can't even get to that point.
Right, that's all you got.
Okay.
No, we don't even have that at this point. We don't have a computer.
You're definitely going to want to try to gain as much momentum as possible and spend momentum
Yeah.
on work.
All right.
Okay.
Oh,
Which
Shran,
would not have helped you this time.
Shran, give me reason plus security, difficulty 2.
Does my constantly watching come into effect here?
No.
It was what?
Reason security. Difficulty 2.
Since I'm not sure what the task is, do I have focuses that apply?
You're trying to look for the commander. You're trying to because when you get to the crash site, you see a big crater, but then you see the wreck of a starship off in the mountains.
I was so saying I could answer this. Could I be the Andorian person who calls him on the communicator?
He has some Andorian guards with him.
Oh,
He brought down a small team with him.
he's still got to make the roll though, right?
Yeah.
Investigation.
Yeah, I'll give it to you.
I think I know what this one could be.
Take a threat.
Sure.
What was the difficulty?
2, I think.
Oops, I didn't give myself that threat. Duh.
Commander, weirdly enough, I thought everybody was dead, but I think we see 2 life signs on the saucer section. No, engineering. Wait. And he taps at the tricorder. It's getting fuzzy readings here, but yeah, I think there's somebody alive there.
Yeah, I'm seeing it too, sir. It's right inside that ship. I'm not sure where though. Bit of a hike, but we could probably get there if we double time it.
Is the complication on my side?
Yeah, that's someone that's fuzzing out how many are on there. You just get that there's life signs there. Are you thinking of spending 2 momentum to kill that?
No, I'm looking at something else. Did I kind of get an idea where they are on the ship? Even if I don't get a direct location?
You know they're on the ship. They're not like on the outside or on the hull. They're inside. That's why it's hard to see them. Whether it's one person or a group of, say, 5 or 10, it's probably not larger than 50 people because even if it was fuzzy, the heat signature on a scanner would pick that up.
Can
and
I
imagine once we get onto the shuttle or on the
ship?
Get on the ship, we might be able to have better readings.
Yeah, distance is part of the factor.
Can I create an advantage?
Possibly, but it depends what the advantage is.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of an advantage that relates to searching the ship systematically at the most key points. Because I assume they're trying to get in communication with someone else or damage control.
You could have. The advantage I could see is the having an idea of what the ship's layout was, because you probably would have been briefed on the Artemis in your original reality, so you'd know how to provide its security as well.
Okay.
If nothing else, knowing the layout.
So I'll spend for that and use Medal of Tactical Excellence to duplicate it. I'm not sure how that duplication works.
Basically, usually with an advantage, you can bring down difficulty or complication. Since you have it twice, you could bring down one difficulty down twice, or a difficulty and a complication. So you get to apply it twice, basically. As long as it's under that advantage.
Right. I don't think they'd be on the bridge, sir. They're either in communications, to, like you said, communicate. He doesn't say that in a dumb way, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He says engineering, maybe to get power, or the armory to get weapons and supplies for the cold.
It's possible they might try to go for the shuttle bay. Use the
shuttle
systems from there as well.
Well, then can I use the double advantage to narrow down the list of places they could be and search for them? And before I do, I'm going to turn to the the guards that came with me and kind of point out places. along like ridge lines and slopes, and like you hide there, and if anyone except for me comes out of the ship, stun them.
Sure. Our weapons don't stun.
Do you want to? I believe the Supreme Commander wants us to shoot for their legs, arms. We'll just avoid the center mass and head.
Yes,
Oh,
no kill
yes.
shots.
I mean,
Foot,
they'll be
yes,
maimed, but
okay,
you
I
know.
mean, Achilles heel. Yeah.
Oh man.
And I kind of, as I'm walking off towards the ship, I say, "This one is definitely mine."
And Tran, you can roll for me 7 challenge as you're looking for whoever's still on the ship. And I'll give you the numbers here because it's almost like you're doing an extended task of your own. And searching the ship in a methodical way. Is what normally the roll will be from here on, but you're rolling 7 dice against that.
Do I need to actually make a base roll first?
You already made it with the roll from earlier. I'm just changing what it's going to be further on because you're doing a different kind of roll. Oh, wow.
Kind of, yeah. I'll spend my determination. Oh, I can't because I already made the roll. Never mind.
Back in the engineering room, Ray and Lorba. Yep, that's a reactor, all right. And you found the panel that lets you access the innards.
It's gonna be a while. Okay. I'm going to attempt to burn my determination. But burn a milestone owned from the Deep Part Art 1, and I studied a lot on Dr. or Savron, on trying to figure out what he knows about at the gate. I feel this has something to do with the gateway. If I can get this reactor back on, I might be able to find out more about what's happening, what the gateway has to do with it.
I'll give it to you.
That was a real stretch. All right. Bibbidi bobbidi boo.
Well, you hit it. That's 4 challenge dice to roll. And you gained 1 momentum.
Nice.
And
Yeah, spend that
Oh, somebody
momentum
did
on.
hella work.
Spend that momentum on
Piercing.
piercing or work. It really doesn't matter.
No,
Oh, yeah, it does
piercing. Piercing would be better.
I'll spend the momentum on piercing.
Yeah, I was trying to think of a way to get them to finish the track, but they're not going to be able to do it.
No, but they'll be.
It's still a
one
breakthrough.
work
They'll
away.
still get 1
Game?
breakthrough. Yeah, I was trying to see if there was a way to get you 2, but there's only a way to get you 1.
Well, the next roll they'll be actually able to get 2 breakthroughs out of it, so or should be able to.
If we're lucky enough to do it.
Yeah.
so you're able to open up part of the casing, and part of the breakthrough is that you remember the two of you are able to piece together what's wrong, and your tricards are kind of helping you fill in the gap on what it is you're missing. So even if you don't understand what you're looking at, thankfully the tricorder knows what it's looking at, and that's kind of helping you. And now you're like, oh wait, we could just use the tricorders, and then it occurs to you to grab an engineering tricorder from the room and use that instead, because that seems to be a lot more accurate for the task you're doing. It's like, oh wow, this is immensely easier if you use the right tools.
How could it be accurate if the little widget lets you scan deeply in one area? I'm used to medical tricorders.
Is
Yeah,
there an
you have
episode
a-
from Next Generation, Voyager, or Deep Space Nine that has to do with setting self-destruct?
There's a couple of them.
No.
I mean, I think there's there's at least one in each series.
Yeah, the problem here is we don't have main power, so it's that general auto destruct probably isn't going to work. So I have to rig it up to do.
Like you need to even,
Yep.
yeah, you need to turn on the reactor to even, like, this is all just getting the reactor to turn on to even do anything.
I need the reactor on, computer on, and hopefully I can just use my command codes. If not, then we'll jury rig it to overload.
And
And there's a fitness security check of us running the hell away.
we're going to bounce back to the security team searching for you.
Correction. I'm the only one looking for them. The others are outside of the ship.
Security team of 1 then. They don't know how many are looking for them with their fancy ray guns.
I mean, they don't know that anyone's looking for them.
It's a safe assumption. It is a crashed starship on a hostile. Dumping the core only bought them time. But it's a control security role for you. Difficulty 2, Mr. Shran.
I'll buy a threat to 6 threat.
To gain 2 momentum. And roll for me 7 challenges. 1, 2, 3.
One for piercing gets me 5. Oh, it's not going to happen.
Well, 1 for work, because you don't have resistance on your end.
Oh, I don't.
No.
Oh, then I spend 2 on work.
1,
That
2,
gives me
3, 4,
7.
5,
That
7.
gets me
8.
finished. I mean, that gets me 2 breakthroughs.
So you're able to narrow down that they're somewhere either in the secondary reactor room or they're nearby trying to get it to turn on. How many are in there, you're not sure yet, and you're not sure where in the secondary reactor room they are. You'd have to get closer.
Okay.
We jump back to Lorba and Ray. Actually, quick question, Tram. Would you be trying to sneak around or anything, move quietly, or are you just walking down trying to get there quickly?
I am not trying to conceal my position. No, I am trying to get there with haste.
Ray and Lorba, one of you does the main, one of you can assist. Insight security, difficulty of 2. You might hear something coming your way.
I have 13 of that roll. Oh, Lorba, what do you have? And Lorba's AFK.
Yeah.
So I'm rolling blind. Don't suppose tactics, trying to think of this as a... Nope. I just talked myself out of it. Alright.
Okay. Yeah, as you're about to get ready to continue to finish off what you were doing, you can hear movement in the hallways nearby. Because it's a very quiet ship, so footsteps kind of echo a little bit. There's somebody here. Sounds like just one person, though. Moving with some haste. And Lorba seems like entranced in trying to get this thing turned on.
I'm gonna tell Lorba to cover the door because I know he's better with a phaser than me, and I'm gonna work on the reactor.
Lorba unfortunately tells you that his hands seem to be stuck in the assembly.
Sorry.
As he was reaching in to get at something, and then he turned, and then something locked around his arms, and now something's holding his arms in place. He's not sure what it is. Doesn't hurt. It's just hard to get his hands out.
Shit. Can I quickly set up a
That's not true.
about how far away am I hearing footsteps?
You can give me a momentum, and I can tell you.
That you see the door right there behind the thing.
Yeah, yeah, one momentum. And if he's like hundreds of meters away, or we're talking like tens of meters. Okay, I'm just gonna tell Lorba, be quiet. Here's your type 2. Get your arm unstuck, hopefully, and I'm gonna hold the door.
Scene change.
Way back at the elevator. What is that music? It's creepy.
You see the gate, Tamara.
She's going to focus on her reality and undo the changes, essentially, or attempt to undo the changes. That massive amount of threat that you have.
Rhymes with threat. Threat. Bet. Oh, so Tamir should be hearing the voices again. You you can do this. It's all about you.
You get the sense that you can push the reality, but you're not the only consciousness in this reality. And it's not just Shran either. There's other people here. And it's kind of garbling your. It's not that your focus is askew. It's that other people's worldview are holding them here, and it's making this reality, making it real to them. And other people are going to get stuck here if you move. You can move back. You can move yourself to that reality, or shift the reality back to the original. But the original will be altered significantly. And you're not at the moment. You're not entirely sure by how much, but a significant amount. You know that much.
So so the gist is what I'm getting at here is they all have to be here.
Insight plus command, difficulty of 1.
Quantum mechanics for a focus.
Yes.
I yelled down the path. We can will them here. Like you did me.
It only works a certain way, I think.
Well,
But
okay. He sits back down in
can
the
I
elevator.
persuade you for a science focus or science discipline instead of command?
Sure, to increase complication.
Alright, I'll do that. Take a threat.
Sure.
I'm not gonna bother risk the reroll. So 1 momentum gain.
You gain 1 momentum. Yes and no, you realize. Them all being here would be a way to undo the problem, but it isn't the only way to do it.
Could I go essentially back in time to the point where at the moment before we crossed over, we as we were going down the elevator shaft or at the elevator shaft, like right before then, right at the moment that Tamira beamed down with the security team.
You could.
Would that allow the consciousness to full kind of reconnect back to themselves, or undo the damage essentially?
They are. For momentum, I'll answer that. Unless you have something that gives you free questions.
I have studious and the science officers, perk.
I'll give you studious. Because it's science one's when you scan stuff. But studious makes sense because that's when you're doing anything with texture. Anyway, to answer your question, you get the feeling that this was created because someone sort of willed it to happen, and this exists because people are willing it to happen. But there's not just one consciousness that's making this reality real. There's more than you and Tran. So you're not so much time traveling per se as you are altering reality. And if they don't realize you're doing that or why, by instinct, they'll believe the reality they see in front of them. Because most minds can't comprehend the idea of multiple realities being equally real, but yet only one is actually real. It's their unawareness, their ignorance that's making this up, that's complicating the issue. You know at least one other consciousness that is aware of what you're doing, because he's back at the elevator. He kind of knows, he's getting a sense of what you're doing, and he doesn't seem to be trying to resist you or fight you on it. So he at least kind of seems to know that he's in a weird reality. But if people try
I'm
to stay
helping.
here, oh sorry, what's the question?
No, I said I'm definitely helping.
Yeah.
In fact, I have a few bottles of Beta Z wine. Commander Tamara, do you drink?
So there's definitely his consciousness isn't fighting you, and he seems to be perfectly willing to go back to where he was, and he's aware that something's weird, and that you're trying to change things, but other people aren't.
I guess my only option is to sort of focus on trying to alter the reality, switch it back to where it's supposed to be.
As you approach the gate, the reality starts coming into focus. An unbidden Helix seems to be following behind you. Just finds that Helix, you kind of just find that this is the correct direction to be moving. This is the way to get where you want to go. But you get the feeling, Tamira, that you can try. It won't be easy, but you can try.
She's gonna try.
Here we go. So oh wait, there's at least one person with you.
Yes, I am definitely going to try
There
to
are
help if
that
I
many
can.
people not with you.
You can't do. Oh, sorry. I was about to say you can't do. You can't do fitness presence, but
I'm
I
definitely gonna
understand.
do fitness science for it.
I don't see why that would make sense.
Quantum mechanics for a focus.
Yes. And Helix, you can assist if you wish.
Yay, absolutely. With what and what?
Fitness or presence plus command or science.
Okay, presence, and yeah, I don't have any focuses in this.
So, yeah, I'm gonna use my saved milestone from last session, based on the fact that we're into this
Our
mess.
gate again.
Yeah, we're here again. Yay. Yeah, and then spending that determination for 2 out of successes.
Toward what value?
Emotions in a crisis only makes things worse.
You're right. I totally agree with you.
Yep.
But yes, that I will take that one.
Yeah, so let's go 4 threat, spending the 1 momentum to roll 4 dice. Really? Do have bold science, so I'm gonna reroll the complication.
Okay.
So that's 4.
Helix, any momentum out of you?
Oh, here's my roll.
Yes.
Holy shit.
Well, there's no way to clear that.
A complication is happening to people who are still here. We'll get to them in a moment. We'll resolve this. Oof, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
It's 4 work. There's no momentum on the table, so that's just gonna stand, I guess.
And for a moment, you can kind of see what's happening to the others as you become aware of this reality in a more extended way. If I can get to them, that'd be awesome. There we go. Just to catch you up, Lorba, Ray heard some noises and told you to get up and get ready to cover the door. Unfortunately, your arms were caught in the reactor and kind of got trapped.
Perfect.
So he had to run over. He tossed you a phaser that you couldn't grab, and went to cover the door. But at this point, you're able to get your hands out fine.
Oh, thank God. Okay, I'm gonna position myself to cover Ray then.
And we're both just gonna be in position, and Laura cover one angle, I cover the other. If the guy gives us room, and he's getting it from both sides.
Mr. Shran, if you would give me a control plus security roll, just we're checking for complication, honestly, because I believe you won away from getting it. I think you filled the work track last we left you.
I was one away.
So we're just doing a complication check, honestly. You do gain a momentum. And give me 7 challenge dice. Get anything above 0. Yeah, there you go. And Tran, you give me insight plus security, difficulty of 1, to get a measure of the situation you're in right now.
Is constantly watching come into action now.
Yes.
Oh, I used to focus. Hold on. Oh, it doesn't matter.
Gain another momentum because I brought it down from 1 to 0. Yeah, you can see Lorba and Ray have taken cover, and they're aiming in your direction. They don't seem like they're ready to ambush you. It's like they're in a defensive posture, like they knew someone was coming and they were just getting ready to defend themselves.
I kind of get behind the groove of a doorway to give myself a little bit of cover. Commander, are you alive?
Nice to see you too, Shran.
Wow, I just had an Enterprise PTSD moment with Archer.
We don't need to fight.
That's why I'm here. If y'all can help me get to the gate, we can go back.
Are you real? Or are you something we're supposed to...
Can I
I
use
mean,
an
if you're asking me if I was a commander 3 hours ago and now I'm a supreme commander, then yes.
Commander Ray, to what are you checking?
Basically need to see, is this guy human, or is this guy organic, living, actually there, and does he have hostile intentions?
Hard to say.
Ooh, can Helix and Tamara be just suddenly calling them on the communicator like, we need to talk to y'all?
You find that because you're so underground, your communicators aren't working.
Oh, gotta go back up.
Okay, Dr. Lorba is gonna put his phaser on the ground and stand up, hands outstretched. If you want to see this through, drop your weapon and come in. And we'll see this through.
I kind of give Lorba a look like, okay, you're going through with this? Do I trust you? Am I
Please.
following your lead now?
This time, trust me. Just this time.
I follow his lead, set the phaser down, hands up. Let's talk about this.
Yeah, I'll lean the rifle against the wall and put the pistol next to it. And then I'll walk out.
So we're all in agreement that this either isn't real or isn't the way it's supposed to be, right?
Lorva,
Yeah.
I
Your
don't think.
Vulcan first officer pushed me through a portal, and now I'm apparently a dictator.
Okay,
So
well,
your wish was granted.
He looks very strongly at you. Like, what are you talking about?
okay, calm down.
No, he's just insulted my honor. I want to know what he's talking about.
At this moment, the room is filled with Andorian soldiers aiming their rifles into the room as they seem to lay their ambush on and start aiming at Shran. We're in combat rounds. You guys get to act because their act was rushing into the room.
So the four of
Minor
us didn't stay back like we're supposed to.
Oh, they stayed back for reinforcements to show up.
Oh.
Yeah, I was trying to like heavily suggest that I was still playing the commander role to avoid this exact situation. But yeah, that's why y'all thought I was coming to kill y'all, because I was trying to act like I was. Okay, 2 for an extra minor action to pick up the rifle, and then I want to aim and fire at one of them.
Okay. So you rush over, grab your rifle, and you shoot at one of them. In essence, they're all at about. They're not close range to you. They all kind of position themselves so you were in the middle of the room, and they're at the edges. So there's no increased difficulty because they are some distance away from you. It's almost like they wanted to have distance from you. And it is going to be a control plus security difficulty 2 roll.
With Deadeye Marksman, it's difficulty 1 because I took the aim minor action. Wait, I need to read the rules of accurate first.
Accurate. If you did the aim action, you could reroll dice and 1.
Okay. Then yeah, I'll fire. I'll go ahead and spend a threat for 3rd dice because I'm not really gonna be in a good position if this fails.
To gain 2 momentum.
I'm probably gonna spend that on a swift task, so we'll just hold that on for a second.
Okay.
While Tamira is sitting by the gate, Helix is riding the elevator back up to hopefully use communicators.
Okay.
That's 8.
1 goes down.
Then yeah, I'll swift task. I think I spend the 2 momentum, but the difficulty does not go up
Because
of
Deadeye.
fire at will.
Oh, fire at will, right.
So
We've had this discussion before.
something tells me we'll have it again.
Mm-hmm.
Same buying a threat.
Whoops.
Oh, I rolled 7 challenge dice. That's the incorrect number of dice. Let me roll for. I clicked the challenge dice roller instead of the gun. Let me click the gun. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. I'll spend the 1 momentum to re-roll the 4 dice. Oh, that's awful. I mean, he still goes down unless something is spent.
So you drop
Are
2
you
of them.
shooting your own people?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, excellent.
Well,
okay. That's
it
what I was
depends
hoping.
on what you mean by my people.
Well, Andorians.
Oh, okay.
Supreme Commander Shran, I believe your turn is.
I don't think I can do any more min-maxing. Let me read something real quick, see if I can throw some advantages around or benefits. Nope, unless they shoot me, I can't help you in any way.
Whoops, that's not what I wanted. I actually have to hit you first.
Is their security that low? That can't be possible, because they
yes,
would
it
have a
is.
security of 0.
Yeah. But, one of them takes aim and fires at you. Spending one of the threat for an extra die.
So I take 7.
So rifles plus 4, isn't it?
Yeah.
So 4 plus security.
What's the security? What's the security?
4.
Yeah, it should be.
Oh,
8.
so then you rolled the correct number of dice.
By accident.
So that's 7, yeah.
Just make sure like
But-
you hit 4 on the bottom and then enter, or else it doesn't register the number in there.
Make sure it fit.
Type in
Four.
0, enter, then 4, then enter again. It's a bug in the sheet.
So I take this 7, but I'm activating Hero of Andon's Landing to avoid the injury for free.
So you see Shran get struck in the shoulder, and he just kind of pulls from some hidden reserve and just managed to grit his teeth through it, even though and stay ready to fight.
Am I taking the roll you did earlier, or was that just a test roll?
We'll do the rule from earlier now that this is fixed. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So
Yeah,
7 damage. -1 because you have your armor.
Oh yeah.
So you actually take 6. Goes back to you. It's either Edon or Ray. Or sorry, Lorbro or Ray. As he Shran gets shot and he kind of grits as he looks like he took a very bad hit that normally would put a guy down.
Yeah, so I would suggest obviously the person who has the best scores go first, but also probably spend them threat to generate some momentum, because if we don't keep the advantage, one of us will probably go down.
Got it. Okay. I'll spend a minor action to give myself the area quality to shoot the 2 guys on the right side.
Slight problem.
That's.
You gotta pick up the phaser first.
Yeah.
Oh, is it a minor action to pick up?
It's a minor pick it up because you put it away. Remember.
Right. Okay, I'll spend a minor action to pick it up, and I guess I'll take aim at whoever's closest to me, and just give a shot.
When you take that aim, I'm going to gain just so you're aware, because you don't have momentum to buy that extra minor action.
Oh, I just meant that's who I'm firing at.
Oh, you're not doing the aim action. Okay, my bad. Sorry.
Yep. Sorry. I said that improperly. But I am gonna take a threat anyway because I'm gonna spend 1 to get a 3rd die.
Okay.
I do have a specialty in hand phasers.
Dr. Phaser here.
I was a field medic. You got to learn to do that.
It's true.
Okay, so I'm just gonna shoot whoever's closest to me.
Just marking he acted already.
Yep. Okay. And how many dice would it be for a type 3?
4.
Plus security?
Yes. That's one way to. Oh my goodness.
9.
Someone just Wilhelm scream.
You fire at one of them and he goes down.
Yeah, we only gained 1 momentum off of that, though.
Doctor, if you are willing, you can attempt a quick task for 2 threat, but your next shot would be at a difficulty 3.
You know what? I'm okay with it at this point. Let's do that. Nope.
One of them takes aim at Lorba and fires. Because it's accurate, they can reroll both dice. Rerolling the fails. One, two, three, four, five, six, 7. Stress.
You're gonna want to spend the 2 threat.
To avoid an injury, yeah, I'll do that.
So when it shoots you, you manage to duck behind something before the plasma shot takes off your head, but it's getting harder to dodge this many shots from this many directions.
Helix to Lorba, Shran, or Ray. Can you hear me?
As you're being communicated with, you notice that reinforcements place their fallen comrades.
What's the state of the reactor right now?
It's almost on. But you still have like another 15 minutes, half hour to do it carefully and properly.
What if we do it uncarefully and unproperly?
You're not really sure. Maybe right away, maybe not. It would be what are you
Sight to
trying to get
see?
it to do?
Not sure yet. Probably just blow up. Can I break it enough to cause a chain reaction?
It would at least blow up this room and the surrounding decks.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind.
If you were to do it, that's what would be the roll. It is go to you, Ray, since you're the only one on your side that hasn't acted. You do notice that the Andorians who fell were placed by a back line.
Okay, so we don't know exactly how many's in this team, but presumably more than 12.
Presumably. And you do hear a communication from Helix while you're in the middle of this firefight.
Helix, we need an emergency beam out now.
I'll see what is Shran with you?
Shran and Lorba are with me.
I'll see what the elevator. One more, and then I start searching the. Since now I'm at the top of the elevator, I start accessing the transport pad at the top, the cargo one.
Ray, what you can do is you can direct character Helix. You can direct Helix to assist him. I'll get you to difficulty Helix to pull that off. Give me a moment.
Yeah, absolutely.
Think. Right. Where are you beaming them to?
To the pad that I'm standing up here at the top of the elevator, and then we can all write it.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I will say you won't. It wouldn't be on the elevator. Oh wait, no, you're right. Never mind. No, you're right.
Yeah, not on
There's
the
a
elevator. The
transporter.
pad like next to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a transfer pad right here.
So we're over here. This is happening.
From
And
a site to a pad.
and that's why it's that hard, because I had to spend. And yeah.
Engineering, comp, control engine. Okay. And then all that speed typing, was there a difficult?
No, that was me replying to a question.
Oh.
Yes, you're looking at control engineering difficulty for complication range 2. So far, Ray can assist you. Someone else might be able to assist you.
Okay.
I'm assisting with presence command
Yes.
as I'm giving an order. I don't suppose tactics will apply here because a really tactical move. This is a panic, get us out of here move.
Yeah.
Now, is that give me a determination from
Can I spend a determination as an assist?
You could, as a CO, give a determination if you have one.
I spent a normal. I haven't spent in my determination this episode. Helix, do you have a value that I can apply here?
let me see. It's either well, it's not my Andorian knows what he's doing, because actually it's all of you. Now supplies and people are my wheelhouse. Or I would, and then the last one, I would never ask anyone to do anything I wouldn't do myself, because the fourth one is I can fix most anything, which doesn't apply in this moment.
There you are. There you are. I'll give you supplies and people in my wheelhouse.
Oh, okay. So definitely then spinning that. That's good. And then
Do you want my determination, or do you have one to spend?
Oh, I'm out, because remember I used all my saved milestone ones up, not last game but before last game, and then since I missed last game I don't have one, so I already spent my today one. So I could definitely use yours, please.
You got it.
And then again, 1 momentum and 4 threat to get all my dice. Because that's 5. Yeah, that's 5. Yeah. And the momentum will be gone, leaving us at 0. So I hope I gain some. Well, it's still difficulty 4. Well, anyway, okay. Just thinking. Okay. Two, 4, 6. So I got 6, 7. Definitely spend 2 to get rid of the difficult. Oh no, I still have. Sorry. I still have my reroll from my neural interface. This is a computer system, etc.
True.
So
we would assume you'd plug yourself in while something that's hard.
Yes, especially. Yeah. Oh shit! Look at that. 2, 4,
Nice.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I get 5 momentum. Out of those 5, spend 2 for that complication. That leaves us 3. So
You re-rolled the
you can
complication.
give us.
I thought I had rolled.
Oh, I did re-roll it. Yeah, I did
You
re-roll
didn't
it.
roll.
That's right.
So there's total
Never mind.
10.
So we have. So we should have 5 momentum total.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Oh, so 6. So we should be maxed out.
So
Dang. All right, can I take one of this momentum?
Are you allowed to?
to what end?
Oh well, it's your turn, I guess. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
because you guys are on
I
the
just
pad
gave-
now at the elevator.
Well, I just gave the order to get beamed out. As soon as you start beaming out, now can I just fire a shot into the reactor?
If you blow us up through the, oh,
for 2 momentum, yeah, you could do that.
sure.
I scuttle the ships one way or another.
You know that this timeline is not going to exist, and this scuttling that you're doing is not going to matter anymore.
He's not sure of that, actually. That's
not
part
sure.
of the problem.
Because Artemis. Oh well, that's true. Only me and Tamira know that. So okay, very true, very true.
Character even be remotely? I guess so.
Well, the only reason why I know is because because Altera said I'm feeling everything that you're doing, so I have an understanding of not the specifics, but what you're trying to do. So that's enough for me just to be like I don't need to know all the bookwork and paradox theory. You know what I mean? It's just that we're trying to get back to our...
The 4 of you have arrived at the top of the elevator, more or less. Thankfully, all the fighting's happened. You can hear phaser fire happening outside the elevator, but not inside where you are.
I rush
it's almost like they didn't think anyone was just going to beam in here.
Right, and I rush everybody to the elevator and start going down.
I
Hit the down button.
I kind of slouch to the ground and point a phaser at Ray and yell at him that they didn't have to die.
Helix, they're all going to be back to normal when we get back to our own time anyway. So this is all just fake reality. Just get on the elevator.
What are you talking about? Fake reality?
The prophets wanted us to see something here. They clearly wanted 4 of us.
You saw it. I'm here. Look at me. I vogue. Let's go down.
That sounds right. Let's go down.
Look, I don't understand it technically, but Tamira has given me the impression that when you guys went through the gate, you went and created a different timeline. If we all go back through the thing, we'll go back to the normal timeline, and this one won't exist anymore. That's the easy peasy of it without the bookwork, which I wouldn't be able to tell you anyway because I don't understand it.
Is that why? Wait. And start back.
And then Helix will be like, yeah. Okay, so I'm standing on one side of the elevator while you guys are shooting each other. Great.
I haven't done anything yet. What did Ray do?
What did we do?
I mean, I know what I did. I'm asking what you did.
Helix to Tamira, Commander Tamira, Shran, Ray, and Lorba are okay. And I look at all of them, unsure of like who is in the sense of what they believe. But I say either 1 or 3 of them don't believe that we just need to step through and everything will go back, and that this is all, this timeline will disappear. I guess if they don't believe me, talk to these people.
Mara?
That is not entirely accurate.
Oh Lord.
I'll shoot at that.
Be accurate before you shoot each other.
Damn it.
This reality though is
I'm
not
shooting Ray.
the present
And
reality
after
we
hearing-
belong in.
Yeah, after hearing
I'm just gonna
Praxis'
sit down.
statement.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to resolve something here. Lorba is currently in a daze as he's perception of reality has been very badly altered.
1,000-yard stare.
I
Yeah.
know something though. I do know something that Tamira felt that I felt too, and I look at Shran and I'm like, if one
Hold.
of these people die,
Hold.
we will not.
Hold.
Oh,
Hold, please.
damn.
Um,
The good piece of info.
Shran, you're taking a shot. It is a control plus security difficulty 3.
Can I use my determination on death before dishonor? Because he just killed a lot of my comrades that didn't need to die. And there's no way to return a body part of them back to Andoria now, because they were vaporized.
Sure.
And there goes our time.
Oh, and minor to aim for Deadeye.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I gain 1 threat.
Helix just throws his hands up. He's done. He's like, oh, okay. Oops, I'll be right back.
Sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 damage there, Ray.
And it would cost 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It would cost 6 to stay up if he hasn't already tried to stay up once this scene.
I am out.
So
That's
you're-
my entire stress bar.
Oh, that's lethal then. That's 2
Yeah.
injuries and 1's lethal.
Ray takes a plasma shot to the face, and he falls to the ground in a heap. Lorbo or Helix can act, or theoretically Tamir.
Okay, I'm back.
Lorba, what's happening from your perspective is that your character very firmly believes that this is all just a vision from the prophets, and Helix kind of laid down the reality that that's not it. And your character, through the failed fitness medicine role, is having an existential crisis, and it's kind of distracting them from the current situation.
Okay.
So you can still act and interact. It's just that your character is at increased difficulty because for future actions for now until that's resolved. Because they're kind of having a moment, and now your brother got shot, so it's kind of hard to think straight.
Gotcha.
It is the prophets. It is the prophets.
Okay,
It's all
fine.
about
But
prophets.
just resolve the episode because no one wants me to do anything. Bye bye.
Wait, what?
Wait, what? We were just talking.
He was trying to speak and you kept interrupting him.
We all kept interrupting him.
No.
So don't put that on me. No, there was a lot of people talking, not just me. And considering I stayed quiet for like 3/4 of the whole episode, my bad.
Hey, well, okay.
I think maybe just to be continued.
Yeah. We'll put this all on hold for now.